It's time for the Steve and Kyle podcast with Steve.
Do you want to schedule an appointment with my wife in 2 years for you to defecate in a bag?
Okay.
And hand it to her.
And just drop it off at the house.
Yes. And they'll check if you need a colonoscopy.
Uh-huh. Yeah. I'm just going to show up to your house, knock on the door. Hey, you'll answer the door.
Yes.
Hey, is Katie here? Yeah, why, what's up? I got a bag of crap for her. Hand it over to her.
And Kyle.
And there's just a ton of replies. And then December 13, you were in Portland at what looks to be a live show at the flag football facility.
It was very similar. Yeah, it was an indoor sports facility. Yeah.
So I wasn't too far up.
No,
okay.
Not at all.
And then it seems like that wasn't going well because just a few hours later you tweeted, well, this isn't going well. # complete disaster.
Now, here they are, two guys who are living in style, Steve and Kyle.
And that was fun last week. My earliest tweets from 11 years ago.
Yeah, 2013.
Yeah.
December, coming up on the big anniversary.
The big 11.
The big 1-1. Means in some states you can go pick crops or something like that, I believe.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Any more talk this week? Now, does that do items from this podcast maybe stick in your craw a little bit in terms of back of mind? So, like during this week, you spent a nice weekend vacation up with their family and in-laws up in beautiful northern Michigan.
Mm-hmm. Is that considered northern Michigan?
I think so. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, I don't want to have the debate that if you're...
something... Question retracted. Don't even care. I don't care.
I finally had to nip that conversation in the bud a couple of years ago because it's a real radio station hack gimmick, and it's one image that's posted on social media, usually once a year, and it's usually around Memorial Day.
Yeah.
And it'll say, these are the lines of northern Michigan. And all it's meant to do is rile people up, because if you're from north of any of the lines, well, that's not north. And I just want to blow my brains out, because that is the worst conversation I could have.
Similar to that, very adjacent to that, would be the map of literally any state. Because, again, this is right up there with, if you don't like the weather in blank state, wait 3 minutes.
Right.
Same thing happens everywhere. But there's the map of the state, and it'll have maybe like the different counties or different regions.
Yeah.
And it'll say like, oh, this is where the rednecks live.
Yes.
And this is where the people with dirt floors live. And this is where people that only eat bugs live.
What would...
That happens everywhere.
As we get sidetracked already, what would that local radio station hack gimmick, and no offense to anybody in the room who's involved with radio.
No, none taken. I don't do this garbage.
What would the county that Cinnaminson was in?
Oh, that's Burlington County.
Burlington County. What would the hack local radio gimmick say on the map of New Jersey for Burlington County with one big circle for Cinnaminson?
This is simple. It wouldn't be on any list. It wouldn't be on any map, because all of the radio stations that I listened to were Philadelphia radio stations. Like we were in the Philadelphia market, and Philadelphia radio stations did not care about South Jersey. They didn't care about Burlington County, Camden County, Gloucester County.
Well, not to age you either, but it also was, mostly before the time of any type of social media or this hack gimmick.
Absolutely.
So back then they were just doing War of the Roses, but now it's
War of the Roses. Yeah, that was.
But I'd be curious.
And I can't believe that every day they find someone who's cheating on their significant other.
It's nuts, man. I could say extramarital affairs are an absolute epidemic. A lot of people saying worse than COVID. And
I really thought that Guido was going to send them to his wife,
Antonella.
I mean,
the Verticucci family.
If Guido and Antonella Verticucci aren't living happily ever after, I don't want to live on this earth anymore.
Hey, what do you mean? But what would they put today, based on what you remember Cinnaminson and Burlington County as? Would it be dirt floor goofballs, or would it be like,
I mean,
four wheels among the whole family, or
No, when I went there, it would have been specifically for Cinnaminson. It would have been heroin capital of the town or of the state.
Lovely memories then.
Yeah, great memories. It's cool knowing multiple people who died of heroin overdoses.
It's fun.
Yeah,
it was fun. That was one of my first experiences with like
heroin?
Realizing. Yeah, it was not the first time I did it. This would be the my first experience with it, which are two obviously separate experiences. The first time you do it, it's a joyride.
Yeah.
The was finding out a friend from my first elementary school that I moved away from in third grade passed away as a teen from heroin.
Yeah.
Like 5 miles away from where we lived. You're like, oh, whoa, that is a thing. So it's you know what? Nice upbringing. Very nice for you. Nice those beautiful memories. You're gonna get
fantastic
a tattoo of the outline of Burlington County on your arm to never forget where you came from.
You could literally draw any shape on me and say it's Burlington County, and I would have no way to know without looking it up. Hold on, let's see.
What is the shape of Burlington County? And you know what? Maybe it's revamped. Maybe Burlington isn't known for heroin. Maybe Burlington County is now known for the coat factory again. Maybe they keep shooting coat factories
It's
out.
funny you say that because for my entire childhood, I thought that Burlington Coat Factory was like a local business.
Yeah.
Because I lived in Burlington County.
Well, sure.
And then when I moved away to college, I was in Ocean County and Monmouth County. I was like, man, I guess Burlington Coat Factory is really expanding. They're upwards of 3 counties away. There we go. There's a beautiful image of Burlington, New Jersey. Looks about like there it is. Just a regular old, kind of like a candy corn.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Kind
I
of
feel
triangular.
like the people on that one little peninsula on the left probably looked down on the rest.
Are you talking this part right
Yeah,
here?
yeah.
I have no idea I have no idea where in this map I grew up.
What a stupid shape.
Okay, here we go. Burlington County, New Jersey.
Oh, wow.
Looks completely different.
1849. That's helpful. Founded in 1864. Happy Civil War. We're finding a new county. And, boy, look at the expansion. A lot of greenery.
All right. Well, that's all we got for the map of Burlington County because
I was hoping you were going to say
no one cares.
that when you finally left, you didn't know that other counties wore coats. You thought Burlington, known from Burlington Coat Factory fame,
known for the coats.
You thought you went elsewhere and you were going to innovate.
Like, holy crap, they got coats here now.
Yeah, you're going to innovate big cities with outerwear.
Yeah, they've been working on the down low to import them.
Nobody knew about these things. Steve walks in with a big fluffy thing.
Yeah,
and they're like, "What is this? What's this
Son of a
idiot?"
bitch. That guy looks warm, and it's February.
But we digress.
Yeah.
To get back to the idea, we talked a lot about your aging last week, and
how did we get on the topic of of Burlington? Map of Burlington.
Well, happy anniversary to Burlington, 1864. That's the big 160.
I believe it was 1849.
1849. That's the big 165.
Probably 175.
The buy-side try. No, that's not true. Happy anniversary, Burlington.
Yep.
Did you spend any time this week at all considering in the back of your head that you are now less than one hand years away from this shingles vaccine, the colonoscopy, that technically, like you said, you could get colonoscopy
2 years.
In 2 years.
Less than 2 years. No, I have not given it 1 second of thought since we talked about it.
Those things don't linger with you, like nothing from the podcast like that where, boy, you know, I hadn't considered that I was X, but now that, you know, we talked about it last week, here we are.
What? Did I forget something?
No, I'm just wondering. I didn't know. I was curious if you were... It
sounded like you were going to continue that thought.
No, I wanted to... I just want... Listen.
No, I was like, crap, did I forget? Did I promise to get a colonoscopy?
No. That is in the cards in 2 years.
Right. I mean, we talked about it last week. We'll be doing the live remote from the colonoscopy center.
But
no, I did not. I have not thought about it once.
Okay.
No, it doesn't.
Kudos to you, man, because a lot of people like me. A lot of times we leave here, I complain about, oh God, my joints hurt, and we were just talking about how old I feel.
Yeah.
And I leave here and I feel older, and then that'll sit in my head all week, and I go, boy, it's not getting any better.
So you really heavily invest in what we talk about here and think about it.
Well, I would say invest. No, that's an aggressive terminology, Steve. I'm just saying it makes me think a little bit more as I get, close in on 40.
Yeah.
Boy, I'm not that far off.
No. So how old are you?
But I'll tell you what I have been thinking about. Not a lot, but we've discussed it, was possibly getting a vasectomy.
Mm-hmm.
Which is, you went through that a couple of years now.
Yeah, it would have been a year and a half, almost 2 years ago.
Right. So about 9 months before Nikki B was born.
No, it was about 6 months after he was born.
Right. And
once we figured out he was, pretty normal.
Katie and I had a discussion kind of off and on, and we kind of come to what I thought would be an agreement anyway, and that there wasn't any change, was that I don't think we're going to have any more children.
Mm-hmm.
And we seemed to be on board with that, but we never fully sat down, looked at each other, and said, do you want to have any more kids?
So it was more just like a in-passing conversation. Like it would come up every now and then, but it wasn't like in depth.
Right, and not as a full conversation, right? So it was more, like you said, in passing.
Yeah.
So...
which is pretty normal, I think.
But I think when you get to the point where it's similar to when you hear like, oh yeah, we've been dating for 9 years, or, ask or get off the pot.
Yeah.
Right? You're either going to or you're not. And I'm not saying that we would be the first people to ever have children with a 5, 6, 7 year age gap, whatever it would end up being.
Yeah.
But that's just something that we never, I don't know. It's not something you want, right?
Yeah, I mean, whatever you do want, it's some people do, some people don't. No sweat off my back.
So we had this conversation, and where we kind of came to the agreement, I don't think we want to have another child. It's just, restart the clock. It's not a defeating idea, but, I'd long said that if our second kid was 80% the stamina and energy of Reed, I don't think I'd survive to 50.
Oh, yeah. No.
He is...
especially with your weak ticker.
Oh, dude. He's a maniac.
Your bum legs, like you're going to blow out both knees. And probably have a heart attack before you hit the ground from both knees blowing out. And you're just going to be a vegetable.
It's like one of those videos you see from Ring cameras where they hear something out in the yard. They go outside, they trip over a cord, knock over a light, and somehow punch a hole in their door.
They somehow walk into a bear trap.
Yes.
Like what?
Yes.
Or step on an unexploded World War II ordnance that was... they thought was like a rock sculpture.
Yeah. So I offered, without even thinking about it, I said, well, if you want, I said, I will get a vasectomy. I'll do it. You just need to find a place that'll put me all the way under.
Well, I think any place will.
I don't think so.
Really?
No.
Okay.
And I told her, because I am still traumatized by your description, Steve, from this very podcast. That is something that's lingered.
My description probably was something along the lines of about, oh God, I think I said it was like 15 seconds of horror followed by like 10 minutes of mild uncomfortableness.
Yeah, I think what stands out for me is when you got to the part in your description where you laid out how you felt like the doctor noticed you closing in on passing out. So he just talked more.
Boy, did he talk. Yeah, we talked a lot. Talked a lot about like what his son did and my job. And it was, you could tell that this wasn't his first vasectomy, which I was very, very happy to hear.
And
he was a chatterbox.
But you felt after the fact, you felt like this was because maybe you were...
I think it kept my mind... He noticed that I was...
struggling.
I was struggling, so he just kept my mind off of it.
And I don't know if I'd be able to hold that off. That's been I'm not worried
that's
about.
All right. That's all right. Because then you pass out. They do the thing.
What are they going to do? Rub smelling salts under my nose? Like, nurse runs in. I'm in stirrups. Right?
There's no stirrups.
And Doc doesn't stop. He's got a job to do.
Exactly. He's got his eyes on the prize.
So nurse flies in. Right? Oh, God almighty. Light flashes on the outside room. Well, we lost another one. She runs in, rips off a packet of smelling salts like an NFL player if you're thinking concussed.
So do you think that if someone passes out, they never wake up?
No. One, I've never passed out. But two, obviously you're going to wake up, but I would assume that they want... Like, that would make the medical staff, they'd be like, okay, we need to make sure he comes back quick,
something,
right?
I don't think that the vasectomy clinic... or whatever it's called, I don't think that there's anything that you can bring that they haven't seen before in terms of your reaction.
Sure. And that's not surprising, but that doesn't eliminate my fear of, one, not wanting to pass out.
Okay.
Right?
So,
and the description you laid out of, like, the tugging feeling, which I get. They're obviously doing something. It's not
so much the tugging, because you don't really feel that. But you feel the needle pierce a very sensitive spot.
Right.
Multiple times.
Yeah. Less concerned about that. Obviously, you're aware that it's about to happen. You're aware that it's happened. I was a little nervous about that. I had some stuff, like a few spots, one removed from my head and one removed from my shoulder. And it's probably been a while since I've had numbing medication applied that isn't dental related. Where dental related, they always put that fun green gel there first for
it's like
a minute.
Topical.
Yeah. So you don't feel a ton of that numbing medication go in after that. So you feel the burn and it's not fun, right? But that abrupt pain, obviously you're not looking forward to, but that's less of a concern for me. It's the lingering, we're just, pulling away and tying double knots, and I'm showing loop-to-loop to the trainee over here. And, look at that. He's sweating bullets, and his face is white as a sheet. And I pass out, vomit off the side of the chair.
I think you'd be okay. I really do. I think you'd be all right. It's, you got a couple days where you're a little bit... Try and get it done on a Friday.
Yeah, also less worried about like that. It's really the during that I have having trouble wrapping my brain around.
I was exaggerating it. You'll be just fine.
I feel like you're 2 years removed, and you're like now looking back on it. I was like, I had a free weekend, and didn't have to be bothered much. So it wasn't bad. But if I put you back in your shoes, if you had to estimate, you're not a pass out guy. Like I wouldn't say it's like a notorious issue for you. Has it happened to you before?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Not that I can remember.
Did you feel any type of weirdness that, like, were your hands clammy, were your eyes?
I was really sweaty. Okay. I remember feeling like, just that, like, the whole body sweats because it was such an unfamiliar thing. But I don't think that I was in the pass out zone.
So do you think there's a spot that'll put me all the way under?
Oh, I'm sure that there is.
Like I remember when I was Google. I was to the point of Googling it, and so I did find a place. I don't even think it was local, and I clicked on the page that mentioned it, and they're like, essentially the frequently asked questions or the page regarding putting you out was saying, in very extreme cases, if you're a grade A super bitch, we'll give you a local that'll put you night for like 15 minutes. Right. Again, if you've ever never had a stubbed toe before, I guess this is what's needed. Like, essentially, this clinic has no desire to do that, and I don't blame them because they probably need additional staff.
Sure,
and additional medication.
That's a whole other thing. I don't think you'll need that, man. I really don't.
Okay.
I think you'll be okay. I really do.
Can I get your word with something?
Maybe.
You'll be there recording with me as we go through it.
So you want me?
Yeah.
You want me to come to your vasectomy?
Yeah.
Okay. Am I north of the wall?
It's up to you.
Well, in my case, there was no wall. So.
Oh, okay. So they just like, was it like the Marilyn Monroe where she walked over the grate where
Doc was just down like,
just flipped up the thing with a gust of wind? Or
to be honest, it was a lot less medical than I was expecting. It was just like, all right, well, lay down on that table and spread them.
I have to tell you, that's not an appealing start to the medical procedure.
No, not at all. Not at all.
I just feel like having an extra set of eyes there isn't going to hurt anybody. Mm-hmm. You know, eyes on the doc, make sure he's, keeping focused. Don't need any, what time was it again? Got to get that, bet in before kickoff at noon. Yeah. And two, I think that's really good content. You can just, there's the burning odor as they meld the whatever together down there.
Yeah, they singed things.
Oh yeah, and then you're doing play-by-play because I've passed out and vomited by this point. So you're okay. Looks like Doc's sewing it back up together. We're going to be out here shortly. Oh, there's the nurse with the smelling salts. This is in my brain to the point now where I don't know.
I had no idea that things that we talked about on this podcast affected you so much.
Yeah.
Like where you took this home with you.
Not constantly, but every time it's been referenced, my brother's mentioned possibly getting one, and I've told them the same thing. I said, listen, what Steve described is something I don't know if I can do. I don't know if I can go through it.
Maybe we'll pull that episode from a year and couple of months, a year, and it was December, I remember. So almost 2 years ago. We'll pull that. That'll be the flashback episode for this week. I want to go back and listen to that and hear what the description was.
I also feel like these places are all probably the human version of C-Snips.
C-Snip, a local...
Oh, is that local?
I'm not sure of it. I'm not sure if it's a nationwide thing.
Okay,
but C-Snip is like the budget neutering that you go to when you don't want to pay like $500 to get your dog neutered.
Yeah, it's the drive-through animal spaying and neutering procedure.
Oh yeah, Lola went to C-Snip.
So I feel like a good reason to have you on board is just in case old drunky Doc down there. Well, probably medical license revoked Doc.
Yeah,
old drunky starts falling off of his little wheelie stool, because I'm guessing all they have is like the Craftsman 1999 rolling seats.
Well, you got to remember, this is a place. This is the medical equivalent of like when you go to the guy barber, where like, and it's you walk in and there's posters of hot chicks on the wall. There's the all of their their clippers are in a Craftsman toolbox. That's what the vasectomy doctor is. Like.
It's a big jug of Barbasol.
Yeah.
So guy walks out waddling with like a trail of blood down his leg.
Yeah. And
you just see Doc dipping the needle nose
in Barbicide.
And then gets him out and sprays him with like canola oil cooking spray. And they're ready to rock again.
Yeah, because it's mounted on the wall right next to the John Belushi college poster.
Well, I can't wait. So before this will be, maybe we could do like a back-to-back, so we can just do a hand swap. So Steve, you hand me your bag of feces to test for colon cancer. I drop it in the fridge, and you and I take off, so you can hold my hand and inevitably finish my vasectomy at Dr. McDrunky's.
And mid-roll. What is going on?
Connor.
What the hell did we start by talking about?
Do you take anything from this podcast? And then...
That was after the deep dive on Burlington County.
Oh my God, yes, that's right. Well, it was all melded. So, yeah, do you take anything with you from this podcast? We do a deep dive into the county of Burlington and Coates.
Hey folks, viewer mail time again. Oh, here's one from Sally, age 14. Dear Pig.
Bum, bum, bum. Bum, ba-dum, ba-dum. All right. What do we got?
Boy, it's a good day when you get a triple stamper. And
that
we're
is
over
a
there.
Triple stamper from our friend Betsy in Schenectady, New York. Is there a more fun city to say the name of than Schenectady?
What do you think of now? You tell me, because I'm an idiot from the Midwest. Mm-hmm. Is Schenectady, is that considered upstate New York?
Well, I know it's known as the Capital Region. Okay. I don't think that that's technically upstate.
So Albany is not the Capital Region.
Albany is the Capital Region.
Albany and Schenectady.
Albany, Schenectady, Troy. They're three cities, all right there.
Capital I acknowledge is Washington, D.C. God bless the USA. I will open the first one here because this is, it's from our friend Trevor. Dixon, not Nashville.
Mm-mm. All right, let's see. How's this going to go? Oh, come on. You're good on the first half, but your problem is you continue to rip away. You got to dip back in.
I think this one was the envelope's fault.
I don't know. I don't know about that. Let's see. Oh, a very, very unsafe method.
Right towards you.
You cut towards yourself.
Yeah, that's how I teach my child. You need this steak knife, son? Here you go. Make sure you rip that towards you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I open this, Steve. I hand it off to you so you can get the old triple stamper. Now this, the bare bones nature that this is getting sent leaves a lot to be desired.
It doesn't even have like the trifold.
Not a trifold
perforation. I kind of appreciate that. It's one less thing I got to do.
That is our friend Trevor, Dixon, Tennessee, filling the coffers for us yet again. Thank you to our friend Trevor.
All right.
Much appreciated.
Moving over to the Betsy envelope. Here we go. Oh, look at that. See that? See, it's multiple.
I think it's a good idea to take some time with it instead of trying to do the one solid slice through.
Yeah. Oh my, is this a handwritten letter?
Oh, that's so nice.
Okay, that one's blank. Steve and Kyle, stickers from my trip to Denver/Boulder. Sweet Cow is a great ice cream joint. Waterloo is a very cool restaurant. Enjoy. Our friend Betsy Boo.
Oh, very nice. Purple ink. Good handwriting on that, too.
Look at this. That is a beautiful sticker.
Oh, I like that.
It says Sweet Cow, and the O in cow is a cow's head.
It's a very happy cow, too.
I like it. I like that. That's our second or third ice cream.
Is it?
No, I think it's our third because we have the Double Dip Depot up there, which is local to us. I thought that there was another ice cream place up on the wall. I'm not seeing it right now, but thank you very much, Betsy. We will put Sweet Cow up there on the wall.
Absolutely.
And this you don't see the traditional size bumper stickers much anymore.
That's a big one.
God bless Johnny Cash is what that sticker says. WaterlooLouisville.com, simply Louisville.
So I'm guessing Johnny Cash maybe local
to
Louisville, Waterloo?
Sure.
God, boy.
God bless. I like that sticker. Boy, it's nice. Nice black background, the block white letters. The Waterloo. Beautiful.
Full-size bumper. Maybe you can clear some things up on Denver for me.
Yeah, absolutely. I've been there once. I pretty much know all about it.
Denver's always felt like, and you've had all these experiences. You did the overseas and you've done the Denver.
Yep. Again, once for 3 days. So yeah.
It feels like once people do that vacation, they don't shut up about it.
About Denver?
Yeah. It's like the older person's version or the adult's version of like, well, I studied abroad. I did 3 months in Spain. Oh, you've got to go to Denver. You must see the Rocky Mountains. You must visit the summit of whatever, right?
I remember it being fun. I enjoyed that trip. I don't...
You haven't badgered people relentlessly since you've been home?
No, I mean, for us, we went there and we ended up going to Red Rocks, which was like...
Right, so you're shut up about that.
Half hour or so outside of Denver, from what I remember, I think. That was cool.
Okay.
Yeah, we drove up some mountain and there were like mountain goats just walking in front of the car. That was pretty cool.
Do you have one of those? Because if I had to pick one for you, and I'm glad you asked, I would say it would have to be Jamaica, right?
Something that... Are you saying I didn't shut up about Jamaica?
No, and I'm not saying it that way. I mean that like you would now come home and if somebody asked you about like, the vacation, what would you recommend that you can? And you go, it must be Sandals, Jamaica.
Well, that trip to Sandals, Jamaica, let me tell you, fantastic trip back in December of 2017.
Yeah.
Sandals Ocho Rios, which as we know, means 8 Rioses.
It's all 8 of them.
On the north coast of Jamaica. Fantastic trip. All expenses paid, well, by us, but
I'll post it on the poll. Can you say it was all expenses paid if you're the one who paid for it?
I mean, we did. I think what I was looking for was all inclusive.
All inclusive, yes. But have you and Annette been, quiet time on the couch? You're looking at garage doors. She's looking at plants. And you're, hey, remember Jamaica?
Yeah.
Like, does that come up still?
We've talked about going back to Jamaica.
Okay, so you guys are the insufferable ones about Jamaica.
Yeah.
She's no doubt been out for coffee with so-and-so, and the friend she's been out with, she's like, oh, Christ, I hope Annette doesn't mention Jamaica again. Yep. And
yeah, I just randomly start playing the steel drums.
You're Michael Scott from The Office when you got home.
2 beads in my hair.
Your coworkers are crossing their fingers every morning, hoping you're not wearing the Sandals Jamaica shirt you bought.
Yeah, or a shirt that just says, like, Jamaican me crazy. Yeah. Yeah, that's us. We're the Jamaica couple.
Thank God we know, man. You win. A lot of people have been there. It's a resort. I can't wait, because when you go back, because once you go to the second time, then you come back. You move from insufferable to intolerable. And I don't know if that's exactly a step up.
Because the second time is the time that you commit to the timeshare.
Oh, no question. The next time you go, you're like, yeah, we got a morning. Why don't we go sit through this seminar to get the free tickets to, scuba diving with manta rays in a little bit.
Or the band that's called, like, Almost Bob Marley. Yeah.
Bob Almost. That's the tribute band to Bob Marley. Ray Gone.
Yeah.
I think the next time when you go is where you become the intolerable, because you're like, well, if you're going,
I mean, just drop my name.
Yeah, just mention it. And if you need pointers, listen, we've been twice, not once, but twice.
Yeah.
We're pretty much Jamaican residents at this point.
Have you considered going to Sandals?
I have not. I don't want to get another passport. I don't want to go through that process or pay for it to use it once.
I was going to say, it's a very simple process.
Yeah. I mean, it's still, I don't even know what the cost is
you
now.
fill out a form and you pay, I don't know, $150.
I got to go to Walgreens and get a picture taken.
Yeah.
And I'm already flustered. And then what, do I mail that picture to the government?
Yeah.
And I say, here's this.
You've pretty much nailed it.
I mean, who has the time?
They've streamlined the process. It's real easy.
You spell one thing wrong and you're sprinting to the other side of the state to the passport office of America.
What the simple solution is? Just don't spell something wrong.
I mean, there's way too many, will they, won't they, can they, can't they issues there that I don't want. I can't dabble.
It's not like it's a Friends episode or something.
Let me ask you this, Mr. Jamaica. How long is your passport even good for?
It depends on how old you are when you get it. So I think that for your age, it's good for 10 years.
Okay. So you're on the back end. If you got your passport in 2016 before you were married, you are on the back end of yours.
I had mine I probably got a couple years left on it.
Is that what you think? Is there a chance that your passport's expired today?
I don't think so. I feel like I got it renewed before Jamaica, which would have been 2017. So I got a couple years left.
So let me ask you this then. If your passport was expired.
Excuse me, please refer to me as Mr. Jamaica.
Sorry, Mr. Jamaica. Yeah. If it turns out your passport's expired, you upstairs, you go into the safe.
Yeah.
Move past all the garage door receipts.
You never know. You never know when there's a recall.
You move past your fence warranty. Move past the manual that somehow didn't get tossed in the trash for that play set that's on a 25-degree angle.
Yeah.
And you find your passport.
Yes.
And it's expired.
Yeah.
Do you think that changes anything about your semi-serious talk about going to Jamaica?
No. It would just... again, because I'm not somebody who looks at filling out a form and taking a picture as the end-all, be-all of tasks. It's really, really simple.
I'll post on the poll right now. If Steve's passport is expired, do you think he's ever going back to Jamaica? Mine expired in 2017.
And so
I just never had a desire
when yours
to renew.
Expired, did the dreams of ever leaving this country again expire with it?
Kinda. Mostly because I don't have the desire to. I really don't. I really don't have the desire to go see England, France, Europe in general.
Really?
Not interested.
Somebody who's
Asia? Not in a million years.
Okay.
Australian outback? Good luck. Okay? You seen the size of those spiders out there? Yeah. Oh, sharks as well. What would I enjoy there? I'd go see the one stupid opera house. Cool. Let's fly home.
We can all admit that that's overrated, right?
Listen, if you thought I was perturbed about the Eiffel Tower getting like the world's unanimous love, go back to the Sydney Olympics and get Kyle 10 times angrier at age 13 in the year 2000. I'd love to see the television from the Sydney Olympics. Was that 2000? Maybe 2004. Doesn't matter. That. I'd love to see those Olympics with just constant boats in front of that stupid thing where they sing. It's the Great Ole Opry. Okay?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's probably a little bit bigger, but yeah, you're right.
But that's the equivalent of when we have the World Cup here or even the Olympics, because they're having softball in Oklahoma in 2028.
Are they?
Yeah. That they just show the Grand Ole Opry as like this big scene-setting thing. Useless.
So
stupid.
So to recap, you will never leave this country again.
I don't think so.
Because you don't want to go through the big hassle of going to Walgreens for a headshot.
Oh, God, it's all right.
Which I'm pretty sure you can do like with a Zoom background now. I'm pretty sure you could take one.
I can do that at home?
I think so.
Okay. Likelihood's increasing.
So your real beef is really with Walgreens.
Yeah, the drugstore market.
Okay. All right.
I have to tell you,
we're going to get you past this, man.
I would
estimate. And you and your wife are going to join me and my wife.
Oh, God, no. In Jamaica?
Sandals, Ocho Rios. No. We're going to go there. You're going to sit in on the timeshare meeting with us.
We're all going to get suckered into timeshare points, TSP.
You know where this leads? About 3 years from now, both of us sitting in this meeting looking at each other saying, it actually is a really good deal.
I don't feel ripped off. I don't feel I feel like I am losing out.
I feel like everyone else is ripped off who isn't in this room with us.
I've long been thinking June in Bangkok is where I need to be. So I've got, again, 3 TSP, 3 timeshare points. So I'm going to save up so I can maybe upgrade my studio in the hostel in Bangkok to a 1-bedroom.
Jeez, imagine the content. You saying studio made me think we could take this thing on the road. Imagine the content we'd have. We recorded this baby from Sandals Ocho Rios.
Imagine the wife's disdain. Is if we're at the airport and we're all like, okay, yeah, we're not checking bags. We're just going to security. And you and I say, no. We've got this equipment. It's got to get put into the cargo area and go through customs.
Yeah.
So we can go to Jamaica and record a podcast.
Yeah. Talking about that reminded me, all right, we have time for a quick topic change, right?
Yes, of course.
My wife.
Yeah.
You know her.
Met her?
She has recently, in the last week, scheduled not one, but 2 girls' weekends.
Oh, no kidding.
Coming up in the next 6 weeks.
Oh, I'm thrilled for her.
Now, one of them came about because 2 of my female coworkers reached out to one of my male coworkers' wives.
You have 2 female coworkers
now?
Yeah.
Christ,
times are changing.
So they reached out to my wife and one of my other coworkers' wives and said, let's have a girls' weekend.
Nope. So like a whole weekend, not a day, not a night out, a whole darn weekend.
This is a gone on Friday, coming back Sunday thing. So that is that's taking place towards the end of October.
Okay.
And then, so she told me about that. I was like, that sounds great. Good for you. I'm happy that you're going to be getting away. You need it. You need time away from the family.
Great.
Good for you. And then like 3 days later, she said, Rachel texted me saying, do you want to do a girls' weekend? And Rachel and Mike, they got married right around the same time we did. Their daughter was born, I think, 6 months after Evelyn was born.
Okay, guys, you can't, get your own things.
Yeah, exactly. They're just nipping at our heels the whole way.
Only 2 that were pregnant that 6 months too. It's crazy.
Their son was born 6 weeks after Nikki, so we're leading very parallel lives.
I think you guys need to just stop talking about when you're having sex. Seems like the end all of that.
I'll disable the app that alerts them.
Beep, beep, beep. Rachel!
Let's go.
I know it's 6:30 on a Sunday afternoon, but Steve's been in bed.
So, a couple days ago, Rachel reaches out and says, we need to do a girls' weekend. Mm-hmm. So the beginning of October, end of September, beginning of October, they're doing a girls' weekend too. She's leaving me, right?
This is how it starts. There's no question. Boy, I kind of,
right?
Should I tell you what I'm thinking?
Yeah. No. Bring it. Lay it on thick.
I feel irresponsible.
You know something? There's something else I need to talk to you about as well.
Yeah, and this is why I feel responsible.
Okay.
Because it was brought up on this podcast last week that we had a brief mention of, I said, Vacation Kyle's a thing. You refused to believe me. We talked about trying to do this and make a weekend vacation happen.
We talked about this more after we were done recording last week.
Yeah.
You were going to leave, and my wife was upstairs, and I said to her, I was like, hey, we were just talking about how cool it would be if me and you, meaning me and my wife, and Kyle and Katie did a Traverse City weekend. Traverse City, a little resort town about 2.5 hours, 3 hours north of here.
Beautiful northern Michigan, unless you're a hack radio station sending out maps.
Oh, it's the place where the pirates live. I don't know.
If you're not north of M49, you're not really north of anything. Getting Bobcats, not doing radios. Multi-talented.
Yeah, these radio stations just draw an arbitrary line in the sand.
Yes.
North, south, east, west. There's no in between.
And then they cash that sweet engagement check because they've done it again over a holiday weekend. They've made the money.
So, we talked about this. And my wife she was in from the first second of this being brought up. She's like,
sure.
Heck yeah. Do you want to do, we could do Airbnb. We could do a hotel. We could stay here, stay there. We've stayed at a couple different places up there. She's like, oh, what about this? What about this? And then after you left, she's like, hey, Kyle's into like spooky stuff and everything, right? I was like, yeah, of course. We should stay at the asylum. It's this former like insane asylum, which is now converted into apartments, I guess. I've gone there once, and I was like, well, it sounds kind of creepy, but I don't know if I want to stay there overnight. But all right, let's give it a shot. So she's looking it up. She's like, oh, check it out. I found it. It's on Airbnb. There were a couple places in that place on Airbnb or something.
I believe it's condos.
Okay,
there. So they're owned by people who I'm guessing are using them as
Airbnbs.
Yes, vacation.
So she was like, oh, check it out. And it's really reasonably priced and everything.
Was it? I didn't even get that far.
I believe so.
Okay.
I think that, for what we were looking for, it seemed very reasonable. Like it's not like it was $1,000 a night or anything.
Right.
It's like in the $200 a night type range.
Right.
I was like, okay, all right, yeah. I was like, yeah, you should send that to Kyle and Katie and me. Like, let's start a group text. She's like, all right, sounds good. She fires it off. Still waiting for a response. It was about 4 hours later. She said, do you think Kyle told Katie about it? I said, no, probably not. But I mean,
I hadn't at that point. I remember seeing that text come through and I was folding laundry. Yeah. And Kim said, oh, hey, by the way, I mentioned something to Steve. Okay. We're doing a vacation.
Yeah.
Let's,
Vacation. Vacation's a heavy word. See, if
it's an overnight, it's a vacation.
Really? Okay. See, I think like
what's the stepping stone there?
I think 3 nights. I think 3 after 3 nights, then it's a vacation. Before that, it's just kind of a long weekend away.
I was going to say getaway.
Getaway.
So obviously an one night.
Overnight is one night. That's like that's almost like a date night.
Two nights, a getaway.
2 nights is a weekend.
But what if it's in the middle of the week? I think we need a catch-all.
Yeah, that's true.
I think we need a catch-all.
Who's doing getaways in the middle of the week, though?
That's true. So 2 nights on the weekend is a weekend. 2 nights in the week is a getaway.
Yeah. It's a rich person's getaway because obviously, I don't have to go to work.
Oh, I'm going to take a Tuesday, Wednesday off. 3 nights is a vacation.
3 nights plus is a vacation.
So you're putting the 3-nighters all the way up until the 10-day vacation. Those are the same for you?
Same thing.
Okay. Mm-hmm. I can accept that.
Yeah.
We can accept that.
Right. Maybe we'll put it on the poll.
So let me tell you what happened, because I'd still love to do this. Yeah. Still love to make this happen. We are currently, I thought I'd have it by now. We're currently awaiting Reed started school this week. Mm-hmm. So we were punching in his like school calendar to make sure Fridays off that are a miss here and there. And we're still awaiting somehow his baseball schedule, which comes, he's practicing. Games start in a week and a half. Mm-hmm. We still haven't received that schedule
yet. Okay.
As well as we're waiting for my mother-in-law's schedule. They're going to be down in the Cayman Islands for a vacation, full vacation. So at that point...
How many nights?
9 nights. So at this point, we were waiting, trying to sync up calendars so I could even send off what I would like to do. 2 to 3 weekend options that would work.
Would it kill you to just send a text to acknowledge that you got the text?
Gotta be honest, I may have swiped on that one.
You deleted it?
Well, archive is the term that my phone uses.
Archive. And do you ever go and look at the archives?
Why would you look at archives? It's all like verification codes.
So deleted is what we're saying.
Well, I just swiped another one that said one conversation archived. I'm pretty confident in saying that archive is the term you need to be using here.
Okay.
Go through my archive. Do you have DraftKings, Political, Wayfair, Meyer Pickup, FanDuel, Bones Coffee, Caesars, Michigan Solar Program, DoorDash.
Oh, you going solar?
No, they want me to, though. Rite Aid. Oh, welcome to the Days Inn in Gettysburg. Here's the doctor's office. Swipe them. There's a lot on here.
Okay. So.
Yeah, I did not archive that one.
Okay. Do you think I should follow up right now to that text?
No, don't
just
be.
With maybe a good talk. Thanks for...
No, I wouldn't. I mean, there's no need to follow up right now. I don't... It seems like we lost weekend. So I'm taking credit for your wife taking the onus, because I mentioned the word getaway or vacation, however you want to phrase it. Mm-hmm. And now she took that and ran with it without you, is the key takeaway.
No. Oh, going back to her...
Because now we're down 2 weekends, Steve.
Yeah.
Now we're down 2 weekends to make this happen.
That's all right. That's for us to worry about.
So I've got Disney in a week and a half.
No.
And so that's realistically 2 weekends gone, right? And then the 2 weeks after we get back, I've got Friday night. I got Reed doing a sleepover at my mom's house. We're doing a haunted house, doing a big spook fest. So that's last weekend in September. Then you said the first week in October, she's already gone on Girls Trip A.
I think it's the last week in September. I don't know if that weekend.
Boy, we might be talking 2025. You know, just syncing calendars. You know, I've got Reed's music program in next April, so next spring's already looking slim too.
Right, so spring's full,
and then it's Memorial Day the month after that.
Yeah, and the prices skyrocket.
And I'm not doing that, Steve. I'm not doing that.
No.
So I think it's best right now that we start looking 2026 fall
2026,
and then if that falls apart, which again you never know what's going to come up. We start looking maybe your 10-year anniversary, which that falls on 2027.
Yeah.
We do the group trip to Ocho Rios.
I mean,
I'll just need you to remind me to get a passport.
Yeah, I was going to say, Look, we can go to Walgreens right now. Snap that picture. Get the hard part out of the way.
Oh, I'm not doing that. I'm not paying for that. I'm scheduling the Zoom, like as advertised.
All right.
As advertised.
All right. Well,
I'm glad we got that figured out.
It doesn't really feel like we
Can't
got
wait to make it happen.
Anything.
Last question: just are we riding together or driving separate? That's separate. Didn't even mean to.
Oh
ask.
yeah.
Leaving our own schedule. Leave me be.
Mm-hmm.
Don't want to be beholden to you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Sightseers.
Mm.
Look at that. It's water. Meanwhile, I'm motoring past at 85 to get home.
Wait, that was me? Bobcat voice?
That was Bobcat. Vacation Bobcat.
Vacay Bobcat.
That's right.
Got it.
Well, I can't wait. Disney is coming up. I am 2 weeks away, Steve.
Yeah.
I mentioned to you last time that I'd blown Leanne's mind by telling her how planned I was. I'm that guy. When I come home, I'm now that guy.
Yeah.
That I'll be walking around going, you're going to Disney if you need any tips.
Oh. I'll tell you what, this is the only way to do it.
Because just between you and me here, Leanne's tips, expensive tips.
Mm-hmm.
Very expensive.
They have a high-end taste.
They enjoy the Disney vacation less of a budget than most would try to do the video.
Yeah.
You want tips.
You want budget?
You come to this guy. Okay. I'm going to get you in and out the door for like $80.
Are you going to be that guy that shows up and you pull the 35-year-old coupon out of your pocket that says free entry to Disney?
Listen, man, if it's got a stamp from Walt, it's as good as the day it was sent. Okay?
All right. Well, a lot of new polls up on Facebook and Twitter at Steve and Kyle.
Oh, can't wait. Fall 2026.
Just 2 years away.
Weekend getaway.
All right. We will talk to you next week. See ya.